Slideshow.
Arlen, you try leaving one about you.
Gotta find the screenshot I was on again. God, I hate this. Can you guys tell it's time that I upgrade all my equipment? I really wish I could set up donations, but my bank actually requires me to sign up for some stupid thing to be able to even use PayPal. Now, as I was saying, you can sneak. No. Go back. You can sneak in the game. It works just like Skyrim. As a matter of fact, go back to that. Oh my god. You can sneak, it works just like Skyrim, and as a matter of fact, in PvP... Oh my god! I forgot to pause it. Stop moving, stupid thing. Now, you can sneak just like in Skyrim. It works just like Skyrim. As you can see, it even has the little eye reticle there that's closed, and it says hidden. And in PvP, it actually works to where if you have enough of a sneak skill, you can actually backstab other players for 3 times the damage. And you can really fuck someone's day up for that, and it actually makes a good strategy. You can also use it to scout positions and relay that to people. And you can even use it to infiltrate places owned by enemy players in the PvP and steal valuable goods from them, which in turn weakens... who do we lose this time? Anyway, which in turn weakens the enemy players' fort and stuff, which allows you to attack and pretty much screw their day over. Is there anybody still there?
I'm here.
Okay, just making sure, because I heard the call thing bloop away. But anyway, yeah, Sneak is in the game. It works just like Skyrim. And I believe this town was called Davin's Watch. Something like that. Might have been a smaller town.
Let the storm rage on.
Now, that's actually a really good shot of a volcano off in the distance. I don't think that's Red Mountain. I'm not entirely sure if that's Red Mountain. It might be Red Mountain.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what was going on, but I could hear you, and yeah, I backed out, came back in, disconnected everything, reconnected it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, your mic probably glitched. It's fine now. Arlen,
right, cool.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, yeah. It's already been... Yeah, that's interesting, guys. It's already been like
what I was saying before it actually disconnected was I was kind of worried when we were talking about, like, the screenshot that had the rune thing. You were talking about making the glyphs. I was kind of worried that they were going to make it where, you know, I didn't... Because I'm new to Elder Scrolls. I was worried with the whole MMO thing that it was going to be basically a whole new game.
Yeah, it's really
I feel like everything I've learned, I'm about to turn around.
Yeah, it's really not. If you've played an MMO before, it's really easy to get into. It just has, you know, the real-time action combat, first-person view, which is really welcome for, you know, immersion and stuff like that. If you've played the Elder Scrolls before, you can get into it too. I mean, from the moment I got in and I played the tutorial, I knew what I was doing instantly. It felt just like an Elder Scrolls game. It still feels like an Elder Scrolls game. Anyone who tells you that this is a copy and paste MMO or it's Skyrim with multiplayer, they are a stupid, ignorant, lying piece of shit. They're wrong. They're absolutely wrong, and anyone who says that is a fucking hater troll, whiny baby, crybaby MMO fanboy who's threatened by it. That's what they are. This is in no way a copy and paste.
Drax had a glorious question.
How
much does ESO cost?
This game is copy and paste.
$15
all it does
a month.
is ruin everything.
Okay, are we talking about Elder Scrolls or are we ranting about fanboys?
Yeah, don't get me started on
why not
fanboys.
both?
Why not?
Yeah, Drax. ESO costs $15 a month.
Yes. Let me actually touch on the subscription fee. Now, a lot of people say that they can't afford it, right? Like, I'm really down on my times. I probably couldn't afford it. But, you can really afford it if you think about it, because there are things that we buy every month that we do not need. Like, there are people who go to the movies every month, and that's $15. There are people who eat at McDonald's once a month. That's, a trip to McDonald's, $15. A trip to Sonic, $15. Any fast food restaurant you go to,
I'm
it's
sorry.
usually going to be like
Before you go
$15.
any further, if anybody here spends $15 at McDonald's per visit, you have a problem.
Yeah. You're going to die early, too. You really need to stop putting that shit in you, and Subway.
Like, I mean, at most, I spend $5 on myself at McDonald's.
Yeah, well, you probably order off the dollar menu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are like people who they eat at McDonald's every day. They spend more than $15, and some of those people are probably like really interested in this game. They want to play it, but they don't want to pay the subscription. Get over yourself. Stop eating at McDonald's. Problem
Yes,
solved.
right. Work does sound horrible to a 17-year-old. I remember that. I couldn't. No. I actually graduated at 17, and I couldn't stand the thought of the fact that I had to get a job as soon as I graduated.
Yeah, it was awful. I couldn't get a job though. As much as I tried, like my bills bad. That's all I'm gonna say. My bills are ludicrously expensive right now. Like $800 covers everything, and then like once we're done, like paying off the bills, 200 goes for groceries, and then that's all our money, except for maybe like a little bit of spending change, like maybe $20. I can afford this. I'm really down on times, but I can still afford this, and our check pays for everything, but we don't really have any spending money left over, maybe $20. So if I can afford this, everyone else can afford it. Nobody is that hard on times that $15 a month is bad, because uh, actually a lot of people who complain about the $15 a month subscription, console players. And that I can understand because, as a console player, we have to pay for something like Xbox Live or PS Plus. And then there's the $15 a month subscription on top of it. But the Xbox Live subscription is $60 a year. $60 for a year. $15 a month, it's not that bad. It's not like you have to pay $15 a month for the whole Xbox Live subscription either. As a matter of fact, Xbox Live subscription is $15 every 3 months. So at the
Right.
most, like, it's $15, $30 for 1 month, and $15, $30 for 1 month. It's not like you have to pay it like all up front right there or anything. It's actually very manageable because my computer is still out on loan for $18 a month for the next year. Like, not the next year, actually it's for like the next 6 months. And that is
Right.
something we can afford.
Is it possible, like, to pay a whole year's worth at once if they want?
I
If
believe
someone
it
wants
will
to,
be, because every
like buying
MMO,
a card.
like every MMO, they have those cards hanging up in the local Walmart or GameStop, and like you buy the card and it says 1 year subscription, stuff like that. They
Yeah.
have cards just like that for Xbox Live too. So go once a year, buy those 2 cards, one for Xbox Live, one for Elder Scrolls Online. You drop $120 at once. It's once a year. 1 day out of 365 that you have to pay that much money for games. And if you're a gamer and you love the game, it's really not that bad, because this is a game that is worth it. Here we go. Here's Shalador.
Real quick, Millie, if you're stuck in Skyrim and if you want to go any further, get any help, you're more than welcome, to join. Ask us any questions you need to ask, and, and join in our Xbox party or something, and we'll walk you through it. Yeah, if you ever need help, just go ahead and send us a message. Me or Swoosh, actually. Swoosh has been helping me through it.
Yeah, I probably know everything, and I don't even have to get on Xbox Live. You can just ask it through Ace here.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
And I even remember a few things myself. I could probably help you out through your early levels.
yeah. So, as I was saying, the reason I don't want this game to go free to play is because if it goes free to play, like say Star Wars: The Old Republic or DCUO, all the money that they put into this game, especially for the voice actors, you know they put a shit ton of money in this just for the voice actors, for people like Michael Gambon and Kate Beckinsale, Bill Nighy.
That That's why I'm
Bill, not a
so
fan at
like
all.
I'm
Not even
okay
jealous.
with the whole $15 a month thing. I don't like the idea of paying it because I can't really afford it right now. But I understand why they do it. That's why I understood why, PlayStation was going to start charging for online, and
Yeah,
I
so
understand why
someone
Xbox does.
I actually got into a discussion in the chat in the game about it with someone, and they said that they don't need like so many millions of dollars from so many people that play the game, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, you do realize that gaming is a multi-million-dollar industry, and that they spend that much money just to make the damn thing, right?
And
Yeah,
also
and
that
before we go any further,
businesses.
Drax, no, not Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye, like the bad guy from the first Underworld game or movie.
Yeah,
We
he
thought Bill
also
Nye the Science Guy too, and no, it's not him.
yeah, it's Bill Nye, not Bill Nye, Bill Nye. A lot of you will
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
know him as the father from Shaun of the Dead, Sean's dad from Shaun of the Dead.
he's also had some Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah, he's also been in
Um,
Doctor Who.
also, another thing about the $15 a month, or about people complaining about them charging that much for it. I'm sorry, guys. What is a gaming company? It starts with a B. It rhymes with isness. It's a business. What do businesses do? They need to make sunny. No, they need to make honey. Well, what do they need to make, Josh?
You're
Money.
horrible at being a smartass. I
Yeah.
just wanted you to know, but I get your point.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
played along
What if
because,
there are businesses out there that make honey. Thank you very much.
quite
So
so.
yeah,
They make money off the
Shut
honey.
your goddamn mouth. Shut.
They make money off the honey. I'm a poet and I know it's not.
I made money off of honey last night. Oh, giggity. Okay, there's mine for the night. That was it.
But
Get out.
yeah,
I get one of those every night. That's my rule now.
gamers, the one big problem with gamers is that they think they're entitled, and they're not. You know what? You're the consumer, you buy the product. If you don't like the product, take the fucking thing back and shut up. Honestly, gamers,
But but then, Josh, I wouldn't be able to complain.
well, you know what? Take your balls out of your purse and replace your vagina with them, Mr. Potato Fag.
Haha. So, okay, Drax
I'm gonna
said, so when was
unfriend you and block
Archmage
you.
Galder alive again? Because it would be sweet to meet him too.
What about Shalador?
No, she said, so when was Archmage Galder? I think that's how you pronounce that.
Galder.
Alive again.
Um, I think it was sometime during the Third Era. I'm not entirely sure. Shalador's been dead since the First Era. As a matter of fact, he's a ghost in this instance right here when you meet him in Second Era Tamriel. I'm not sure about Galder, but he may or may not be in this game. It's possible if Shalador's here, because you actually get to like sit here and talk to Shalador, which is awesome. And I'm actually going to like move to the next one. For those of you who played Shivering Isles, if you remember the cheese, you actually get to go to a dungeon with Shalador called Cheesemonger's Hollow. He even says right here it's a realm of the mad god Sheogorath. And like he says like right here, is it right here? Ah, I think this is it. He rules the Shivering Isles. No, that's not the line. Oh, and I
No,
actually like.
Drax, I've never seen Not Always Right.
I actually took like screenshots back to back to show the fact that while in these stances, the characters move. They don't just stand there statically and stare into your soul like they did in Oblivion. They move and they talk.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And you see he crosses his arms, closes his eyes, shakes his head.
Oh, that's definitely awesome.
Yeah, so there is actual movement, and for an MMO, everything is alive. Like in the newest build, you guys know about the Dark Anchors, right? You've at least heard a little bit about them.
I've heard you mention them, yes.
What Dark Anchors are, you guys? Is they're portals into Oblivion that Molag Bal's anchors come from Cold Harbor to grasp hold of the mortal plane and drag it into Cold Harbor. So he's literally trying to pull Tamriel into Cold Harbor and merge them, which would completely blow everything up. But Molag Bal doesn't care. He wants fireworks for the 4th of July. He wants them fireworks. So
Kaboom.
in the newest instance, they actually added sort of like a Rift style gameplay mechanic where random dark fissures would open up uh, anywhere near the player and spit out a few Daedric enemies and like send them at you. Now, for
Okay,
those of you,
Drax. Have a nice shower. See you when you come back.
quite so indeed. Hope you enjoyed everything so far. Now, for those of you who've played Oblivion, if you played the Shivering Isles, if you notice the name up there, you'll recognize Haskell. You get to meet Haskell. This game is full of friggin' fan service, I'm telling you. And like you can see here, I'm talking to Haskell. He's got a little bit of a different look, looks a little bit younger, even though he's immortal. Right here, a Daedric portal opened up. Some scamps came out. Oblivion people, once again, you know what scamps are. Little monkey things that... Actually, they look like gremlins fucked monkeys, so... And then there's a Dremora churl. You'll remember those. They're Dremora dressed in armor, and they carry around big dick beating sticks and everything.
Oh, I love the
And
Jamora.
like right there, the spell that I was casting was actually Crystal Shard right there, and you can see how I'm like throwing it forward with my hands, and they're surging with
Right.
magical energy. And my Argonian character actually looks evil because he's got those claws just out there. That's actually one of the most badass screenshots ever.
Power. Unlimited power.
Power! Unlimited power!
There it is.
Star Wars fanboys. And that's actually a screenshot I took of when I died. Now, when you die in this game, it's not finite like a single-player game. It's going to be like in an MMO. You respawn at the nearest way shrine, and this is actually incorporated into the lore too, because since Molag Bal still has your soul by this point in the game, like when you escape, Molag Bal still has your soul, so you don't have a soul. And like you don't ever truly die, so you can actually remanifest your corporeal form at the nearest way shrine, or you can use a soul gem with a filled soul to like revive yourself right there. So soul
Uh,
trapping is actually extremely useful, a lot more useful than it was in say Oblivion or Skyrim.
um, Alex,
Um.
Alex
Okay,
Cam,
we have a
well,
question.
Alex,
Yeah.
yeah, he says, how many races are there in Elders? And then he said an offensive thing by saying ill Star Wars.
Okay, that's not he. That's Millie. First of all, and yeah,
Uh,
races and elders. I think there's 8.
No, there are 9, not including the Imperial race, which
Uh,
you get access to.
Imperial got added, didn't it?
No, the Imperial race is exclusive to people who buy the Imperial Edition, which is the collector's edition for the game. That's one of the things that I don't
Yeah.
like about the collector's edition, because they took a race out and locked it behind, the you got to spend another like $20 to get the
Right.
Now,
And
I actually,
that's not, but yeah, that's what I meant by added. They added that for Elder Scrolls Online. In Skyrim and the ones before, there was 8, right?
no, 10.
I'm sorry,
Let's see. You have
I'm
the
missing something.
Argonians. You have the Argonians, the Bosmer, the Khajiit, the Redguard, the Imperial, the Orc, the Altmer, the Dunmer. Let's see. The
Okay,
Nord.
those were not in Skyrim. Holy crap!
Yeah, they were. You always pick Nord. How would you know what there is? You never scroll
I
up and
looked
down.
through them all.
There
Yes,
are
I did.
10.
I did scroll through them all.
There
I,
are
I
10.
remembered. I remembered Redguard, Nord, Argonian, Orc, Khajiit, High Elf, Wood Elf, Dark Elf, and then that was all I remembered. Now I'm gonna go back
Imperial.
and play Skyrim and start over.
Like,
Imperial.
like guys, I forgot. You guys might not know this, but there's a super secret. There's a super secret race in there. It's called the Phoenix race. It's like one of the best races in the game.
Okay, you shut up or you're fired.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
And you can see here I'm casting
You have a
Crystal Shard
100%
again
chance.
in first person. But yeah, so
100% increase in fail.
let's go to Cheesemonger Hollow.
Fail is over 9,000.
Ooh, cheese! Cheese for everyone!
Yeah, see, he hasn't even played well. you
Oh,
haven't
the
played Shivering Isles, right?
cheese!
But yeah, Cheesemonger
Cheese!
Hollow, you actually get to meet Sheogorath here, and I will actually prove that you get to meet Sheogorath in person. Because there's me casting Crystal Shard again. There is Sheogorath, everybody. Right there. Absolute proof that Sheogorath is in the game. Also, apparently missing texture boxes are in the game. That's one problem I always had, was there were always missing textures. And instead of like just not being there, it got replaced with this big obnoxious red box with missing scribbled all over it. But
Oh god, 3 dorks, 1 podcast.
that pretty much sums it up. But yeah, there's Sheogorath.
What?
Sheogorath is there. Same voice actor.
Okay. It looks different.
He has a little bit of a redesign, but you know, it's 1,000 years in the past. He's a little bit younger. And here we're back at the Mages Guild. We're out of the Mages Guild into Davin's Watch again. This is near a volcano. This is one reason why I love Morrowind, because it's volcanic, and I've always had a sort of fascination with volcanoes. They were one of my favorite topics in science class, and you actually get to explore like these dusty ashlands and like this area around this erupting volcano.
Oh, okay, yeah. And Millie, we never said that Sheogorath was a good-looking person. He's just my favorite Daedric prince.
Yeah, he's pretty much everyone's favorite Daedric prince because he's the Joker as a god, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and he's got a Scottish accent.
What's...
Hey, come on, you can't play Skyrim and then finish it without ever hearing the line, "The Wabbajack." You can't do it.
Yeah, actually, you know what, Arlen? Right
Or
now,
cheese.
just as a little fan service to everyone watching the podcast right now, why don't we bring up the cheese line for everybody and let them hear the epic, funny Scottish accent of Sheogorath?
Okay, who's doing that?
You want to?
I can.
Let's go for it then. I don't
Oh,
trust
All right,
anything.
so just
Oh,
go to YouTube. Find.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Also,
while you're doing that, I'm going to run and get a drink real quick. I'll be right back, you guys. My throat feels like someone poured hot acid into my throat.
Honestly, I think they should just make a remake of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and like for Sheogorath, we could call it the Fresh Prince of the Shivering Isles. Think about it. I know you're thinking about it.
And
Goes right through me.
Let me know if you guys can hear it.
I have so many things to do.
Not
many
very well right now.
undesirables to contend with.
Not very well right now. There we go.
Detractors. Why, my headsman hasn't slept in 3 days. You are far too hard on yourself, my dear, sweet, homicidally insane Pelagius. What would the people do without you? Dance, sing, smile, grow old? You are the best septum that's ever ruled. Well, except for that Martin fella. But he turned into a dragon god. And that's hardly sport. You know, I was there for that whole sordid affair. Marvelous time. Butterflies, blood, a fox, a severed head, and the cheese to die for. Yes, as you've said countless times before. Harumph! Well, then, if you're going to be like that, perhaps it's best I take my leave. A good day to you, sir. I said good day! Yes, go. Leave me to my ceaseless responsibilities and burdens. How rude! Can't be bothered to host an old friend for a decade or two. Inside the mind of Pelagius, silly. Oh, is it your first time? Pelagius the Third. Now, surely even you know about Pelagius's decree. On his deathbed, and this was inspired, he forbade death! That's right! Death! Outlawed! Really? Oh, what kind of message? A song! A summons! Wait, I know! A death threat written on the back of an Argonian concubine! Those are my favorites. Well, spit it out, mortal! I haven't got an eternity. Actually, I do. But seriously, what's a message? Oh, no mistake at all. What you made was a choice. Granted, not a very wise choice, but these things happen. Oh, the folly of youth. You know, you remind me of myself at a young age. All I cared about was riding Norway and sleeping in honeycombs and drinking baby's tears. Word of advice, if you ride a Norway, mind the pointy end. But there I go, waxing poetic about my misspent youth. Now, where were we? Yes, you're the mortal messenger. And I am, honestly, have you any idea? Jolly good guess. But only half right. I'm a mad god. The mad god, actually. It's a family title. Gets passed down from me to myself every few thousand years. Now you can call me Anne-Marie. But only if you're partial to being flayed alive and having an angry immortal skip rope with your entrails. No, Shea Gorath, Daedric, Prince of Madness. Charmed. Now that's the real question, isn't it? Because honestly, how much time off could a demented Daedra really need? So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave. That's right, I'm done. Holiday complete. Time to return to the humdrum day-to-day. On one condition. You have to find the way out first. Well, good luck with that. Is it? Care to take a look around? This is not, I dare say, the Solitude Botanical Gardens. Have any idea where you are? Where you truly are? Welcome to the deceptively verdant mind of the Emperor Pelagius the Third. That's right! Head of a dead, homicidally insane monarch? Now, I know what you're thinking. Can I still rely on my swords and spells and sneaking and all that nonsense? Sure, sure. Or you could use the Wabbajack! Huh? Huh? Didn't see that coming, did you?
Gotta love Shagorath.
Now that I think about it, I don't think that's a Scottish accent. Or it might be. Might be Yiddish.
It is. You were right.
It is Scottish.
Yeah.
Okay. So, continuing on with Elder Scrolls Online, this is the boss I was talking about earlier in the podcast. Balreth. This motherfucker made me lose a few gray hairs. Because I ended up ripping the damn things out, but, like, he could go into the lava there, and you see the arrows in his health bar up there, the little white shiny bits?
Yeah.
That means that his health is going back up, and what he could do is run into the lava to heal himself. So I could whittle him down all I wanted to, but there was always a fixed point in the boss fight where he would go heal himself all the way back up. So soloing this motherfucker was impossible.
So you take in a bucket of water and turn all the lava to obsidian. Hey, Minecraft reference.
Oh god, we're nerds.
We need help.
Or candy?
No. Anyway, but yeah, this was Balreth, and God, he was a bastard. He was a bastard. You can see in this screenshot, he's nearly killed me. This was probably for like the 4th or 5th time too. And you can see how there's a compass up there, just like the Skyrim compass. You can see how the
I
health
noticed
bar, the
that.
stamina bar. It looks just like Skyrim, plays almost exactly like Skyrim, except it's got a few twists.
So the magic meter, is it going to be on the left side too, or is that a whole
it's
different
there. The
thing
magic
now?
meter is there. You can actually see it like right there. It's right there in that one. It's completely depleted and like his health is barely down. I've got somebody over there helping me and he's off running to go heal again, like the pussy he is. But yeah, here's a good screenshot. You can see like I've got my weapon up.
Empty pussy.
I've got the magicka bar, the health bar, the stamina bar, and then I've got like all my little hotkeys down there. One of the things I love about this as an MMO is that there's the UI is so clean. It's so clean. Like I've got my quest
I love
thing
how.
up there, and you know the
I'm
compass.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I love how like there's a thing in this screenshot where it says the target is too powerful for an effect.
Yeah. The target is too powerful for that effect. I was using Crystal Shard. I wasn't using it for the knockdown effect, though, because, you know, you can't knock that big-ass motherfucker down. But I was using it for the damage that it did, and as you can see, it really wasn't doing that much damage. This motherfucker had a lot of health. He was really hard, but also really fun to beat. I actually joined a quest, and, like, you can see, like, all the different colored chat stuff down there. That will actually be different. Like, those colors will be different depending on the alliance you join as well. So the zone here is like this gold color. Like the zone chat is a gold color, whereas in the Aldmeri Dominion, it's more of a beige color.
Right.
And you can see down there in the red, I actually yelled my advertisement for my mage guild. That was me. Right here, I'm just...
I see it, yeah.
See, searching mud mounds. This is where I actually got to fight Dreg. Dreg are bastards. They're essentially, if you've ever seen Beast Wars, and you remember the one that was an ant, they look almost exactly like him. They're pretty much huge, sort of like primitive ant-men creatures. More screenshot. So it did take a screenshot of the loading screen. The loading screens are gorgeous, and they have like these little tidbits. Like down there at the bottom, I know you guys probably can't read it, so I'll read it for you. It says Stone Falls. Fleeing is a perfectly valid tactic if you wander into a tough situation. Find or craft better gear, use skill points, or level up a bit more, and then come back to fight another day. So, yeah, it has MMO logic, but there is exploration in the game for you guys who are worried that you can't explore. It's a little bit restricted at first because it is an MMO. Do not go into Elder Scrolls Online expecting a single-player Elder Scrolls game. Do not. Why would you? It says Elder Scrolls Online. Online generally means that it's fucking online.
It's also an MMO. It plays a lot like an Elder Scrolls game. It plays a lot less like an MMO, but
it still
nonetheless,
plays like
at
an
the
MMO.
base, it still
has
is.
to have
Yeah.
MMO rules. Like one person
There's still
was
millions of
complaining-
other players because you're going to need them eventually.
Yeah. One person actually said that there was no point to having them, and I face-palmed so hard I gave myself a nosebleed.
That's too much.
Yeah, I was so, like, there's no need for other players in this MMO, because it's easy. You know, at level 10, I was fighting level 9 monsters, and they were still giving me a run for my money, especially in groups. And I swear to God, you guys, I got killed by a level 50 mud crab in Cyrodiil.
Oh my.
Yeah, a mud crab. A fucking
A
mud
freaking
crab.
mud crab.
And it was a Nibini Basin mud crab. It wasn't one of the huge King Kamehameha mud crabs of Skyrim either. It was one of the little bitty Nibini Basin mud crabs.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Why is that level 50?
Cyrodiil is like, it's a level 50 zone effectively. It's like a really high level zone. You can go there at a low level and it will actually like boost your level. Like it will boost your magicka. Like I went there with 600 something magicka and it gave me 1,000 magicka. And like,
Nice.
it boosted everything by 1,000. So you can go there and, you know, like be in a group and, you know, you can fight everything and still, you know, survive and everything. But it's meant for like higher level players, veteran players, effectively. But you're not singled out. Like you can go there at level 10, and it will boost you up, so you know you're on par with just about everybody else. So you know you're not the biggest pussy there,
Right.
and that's one thing I like about it. That is the lightning form ability right there. That is one of my favorite abilities. I had someone in my group called Oilen Bloodseeker.
Huh.
Yeah, it was
I love the
I can't
creative
remember.
names already.
Yeah, I love creative names.
I have
like
Draven.
I'm not going to lie about this, guys. There was once when a Nord ran by in his underwear and his name was Butthole Destroyer. If anybody wants to talk about fucking immersion breaking, that shit right there is what does it. When you have someone who's like, this
That's
is a
where the
beta.
MMO community
Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah, like people like think it's a beta, it doesn't matter, but what they don't realize is that you can keep this launcher and you can keep your characters and carry them over from the beta to the full version. You just have to buy the game and then patch the fucking launcher. So they're like, this is a beta, this is a demo, it's not a beta, it's a demo. I don't care to create my character, I'm just gonna pick a Nord and call him Butthole Slayer. So, you know, now that guy's stuck with a character named Butthole Slayer. So,
wow.
There was one worse, though. Khajiit ran around in his underwear, and his name was Meow Sexy Bacon.
Bacon's in the name. It's okay. I can be okay with that.
Yeah, Jimmy would have really appreciated that one. But, yeah. Okay, so here, I'm in New Robes, as you can see. And that is actually one of the emotes in the game called Prey. So you can actually pray, and there's also a kneel pray too. There are several different emotes you can do. They're really fun. There's a, let's see, what was it? A facepalm emote. I love that emote. That's one of my favorite emotes ever. And there's also one for being drunk. There's one for dancing, and there's also one for drunk dancing. You have no idea how many people like threw parties, and they literally just stripped down to their underwear, and they had a naked drunk dancing party.
Oh, I have an idea. We used to in Perfect World International when I used to play it. We would take our entire faction and get together with another faction and strip everyone down to nothing, except for our underwear. And we would go to the main town that was the biggest town where everybody filled up at was Archosaur, and we literally would start at the shopping square and we would just walk around it like a parade.
Oh wow, that's nice.
I mean, you gotta have fun with it because it's not. It's also in MMO. The wonderful thing about MMOs is it's not all gameplay. A lot of it is social. You gotta have fun with it too. You gotta mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
It's the key to playing them a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, so the story about this screenshot is that's coral. That's actually coral. I think this used to be
Oh
part of
my.
the seabed, but it's magic coral, and it's sentient coral. And it's sentient through magic. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is really awesome. There's a good shot of
This
Nerds 2
screenshot
movies.
is.
Okay, whoever's playing me through the background, make it go away, please. Okay, so, this is a good shot of Nern's moons. Master and Secunda. Master is the big reddish one, and Secunda is the smaller, sort of bluish white one.
Right.
Okay, someone's mic needs to stop making so much noise.
It's Phoenix.
I'm not doing anything.
You sound like you're in a car going somewhere. If you got your fan on, point it away from your mic. It's interfering.
You sound like I don't know.
Sounds like
Sound like you're off in the distance and something else
leveling
is
up,
blowing in your mic.
This is actually, I took a screenshot when I leveled up at once in the game, and you can actually see up in the corner, it has the level up bar, like it reset to like 0 and it's not full, but it works just like Skyrim. If you've played Skyrim, this will feel familiar to you. If you've never played an MMO before, you could jump into this, and you know, if you liked Skyrim, you would probably like this a lot, because it plays so much like Skyrim. And something that annoys me is people, like the really hardcore Elder Scrolls fans, can't get into it because, like, for single player, you know, you don't have to, like, have limitations. And, like, rather than, you know, jump into this and try to roleplay with friends, to them roleplaying is getting into a character by yourself in a freaking world full of info dumps and, you know, Wikipedia pages, living Wikipedia pages. And you can't interact with anybody that actually has any character to them, except in Skyrim. But you know, the most character someone had there was like, "Oh, you want to ask me about my heritage? Well, since you're a Nord and you should know Norse heritage, I'm going to tell you anyway because the game demands I do it." Whereas here, like, people were complaining about simple stuff like, you know, you couldn't pick stuff up off tables. There was little world interaction. And there's plenty of world interaction because you can interact with bookshelves, take a book off the shelf. Let's see, you could pick up and manipulate and take stuff like bread and apples and stuff. It's just like scenery. You couldn't interact with the scenery because, you know, like, say someone needed something, or someone wanted something, there would be so much griefing and trolling because this is an MMO. There are going to be people like that in an MMO. You can't get around that.
Get used to it. That's basically the rule of it, right?
Yeah, just get used to it or get over it. If you don't like it, that's okay. Don't play it.
No.
And a lot of people...
Hell, you know the rule. If you can't beat them, join them.
Exactly. And, one thing, like, people say that this game is not worth $15 a month, and I heavily disagree with that. People say that the quests are boring, but my god, the quests are no different than Skyrim. Someone's actually complaining that there were, like, the typical generic MMO quests, where you go around and farm enemies. No! I maybe had 2 quests like that out of the 20 quests that I did at one single time in a day. One quest that I did as part of the Ebonheart Pact, which I might actually have screenshots of coming up here in a second. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there's New Robes. That's me in New Robes. This is actually the start of that quest, breaking Fort Virac. This quest, it starts out, there's a Covenant attack going on at this fort. They control the fort. There's a Covenant and Necromancer in control of the fort, but they're not sure necromancy is involved, but, zombie corpses are coming out and stuff. So what you have to do is you have to infiltrate the fort grounds, kill one of the zombies, find evidence of necromancy off their corpse, and then, you find a letter stating this specific Covenant necromancer. And so you actually have to infiltrate the fort. Like, this is where I was gathering evidence. That's actually the formation of a dark anchor right there. That's the portal forming in the sky. And then that's what it looks like when it's fully formed.
Tough.
But anyway,
Wow.
this quest was amazing because you actually got to go inside. Walks with Ash, here we go. You got to go inside and infiltrate it with this chick. One of the first things you did is, to infiltrate it, you had to unlock a door. And to do that, you actually get turned into a wisp. And as that wisp, you get to navigate ghostly hallways and sneak past the ghosts to get to the other side. That is not a fucking generic MMO quest. Shut your whore mouth, haters. I don't care who you are. This is not one of those generic quests, and I don't want to hear it. There were quests less fun than this and less unique than this in Skyrim. So shut up. And
Yeah.
this was a lot of fun to do because controlling this thing, it was really interesting. And you had those necromantic looking spirits, and if they attacked you, oh yeah, this part, once I got into the fort, I actually had the option to free these 2 pact soldiers that were tied to sacrificial slabs, and they were next on the slate to turn into the zombies. So their voice actors are literally, they're begging, they're pleading, they're struggling on the slabs, and they have that urgency in their voice, like God, they're going to turn us into one of those things, please help us, please help us. And so I actually let them go. And then that's the Necromancer. It was not a Dark Elf, it was a Breton, but, he turned into a Flesh Atronach. And
Oh
he was
my.
actually a general of theirs. Yeah?
Well. Wait. Flesh Atronach. That's got to be new. I don't remember that.
It's not really new. They were in, I think, Oblivion and Morrowind. I could be wrong about Morrowind, but they were definitely in Oblivion, especially the Shivering Isles. They are a thing. But they weren't in Skyrim because, the Daedra didn't play as heavy a role in the plot. The only reason they were in Oblivion is because they're a Daedric construct. All the Atronachs are Daedra. They're lesser Daedra. And most of them are actually sentient, and some of them can even speak. So all the Atronachs that you summon are actually Daedra. They're lesser Daedra. So anything you summon in Skyrim, like a Flame Atronach, or a Frost Atronach, or a Storm Atronach, that is a Daedra. And there are other types of Atronachs, like Flesh Atronachs, for example. And, if you saw the Arrival trailer, that ginormous sort of hulking monster thing was a Flesh Atronach.
Oh wow. Okay, that's what that was.
Yeah. So, this was the general. He turned himself into a Flesh Atronach to be powerful, and he was really hard to take down, even with all these NPCs and someone else in my party helping me. So there is plenty of difficulty. If anyone says it's too easy, they're a fucking liar, or they either got into a group of 20 and went around, farming like it was a complete MMO like it was WoW. Don't do that. Guys, I'm telling you now, if you get this game or you try this game, I will tell you now, the first month is free. When you buy the game, the first month is free. When you rent the game, the first month is free. So literally, you
Okay.
can play this game for the first month, and it will be absolutely free. So there's no
And then just
$15
kind of try
subscription.
it out and see if you actually want to pay for the $15 yet.
Exactly. And, like, within a month, like, I got to level 10 in a weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, so in a month you could probably get halfway to like the end game. You could like get most of the good gear, get most of the good spells and all that stuff. That's plenty of time to decide whether or not you like the game or not. Give it a try. Don't listen to anyone else what they say. Like if someone tells you, "Oh, the game plays exactly like this way, but there's nothing else you can do about this and yada yada," don't listen to them. Just play it yourself. If you got a beta key, play the damn thing. Rent the game from a store, like, rent it or something. Or maybe get it from a discount off of Steam or something like that. If you're a PC player. And try it. For that first month, it's free. You don't have to pay the subscription for the first month, so just try it. Come to your own conclusion. Watch gameplay. Watch somebody play through it and, show everything. Don't,
Yeah.
watch somebody, standing there and talking about all the bad stuff in the game or the good stuff in the game and just, like, standing there and spinning the camera around their character like a fucking dipshit.
Yeah, don't sit there. Don't go off the majority opinion either. Don't a lot of people said this
Well,
game
it's
was
not really a
horrible,
majority
and then
opinion.
say
It's a vocal minority because anyone who's happy
Well, I think that's
is
more of
not
a
going to
just an
really say
overall
anything.
rule, not just for Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, like the vocal minority, anyone who's happy with something is obviously not going to, talk about it much unless they enjoy it, or they're not going to, like, complain or anything. The people that don't like it are the vocal minority because, the majority of people who are happy with a product aren't going to say anything. But then there are those people that just, and they're the ones you hear, and they're the ones you always hear. Never form a conclusion based on anything those people say or do.
Nice. Welcome back, Drax. And I want toast. Apparently, Drax is back with 200% more toast. Toast for everybody.
Cheese toast for everybody.
The cheese!
And
But
this
you
is one of
must
my
apply it with the Wabbajack.
This right here is one of my favorite powers that were available. Number 4 there. I remember what it is now. Daedric Curse. What it is it casts like a glyph or rune on the ground beneath someone that will follow them, and it will, like, in a few seconds, it will detonate like a bomb for mega damage. It is awesome. And the glyphs are so cool because if you see, like, in the circle there, all of that is Daedric language. That's Daedric writing, the Daedric alphabet. As a matter of fact, you can see the, just to the right of my, or Kalitas's left trigger finger, you can see the Oblivion symbol there. You can see the Oblivion Gate symbol,
Yeah, I
the
see it.
Conjuration symbol. That's all Daedric writing, and that spell is awesome. I love that spell. I don't know why I didn't get it yet on my last playthrough, but it was awesome to use. Now, this, I'm actually in PvP, and you can see there, like, in the chat, I'm, talking with my group, the people in my group, and I've got, like, the really light blue sort of, I guess you could say cyan color. That was my, which one? My guild chat for the guild that I created. And, it's like the main base, like, I think it's the place that can't be, controlled. Like, people have to have a spawn point to get in PvP, but I think this is like an area that, you first get into when you get there. You can't, it can't be taken by anybody. So, that was actually in PvP. And all those are NPCs, and they're pretty much there for decoration. I don't know what those people do, if they do anything. Sorry, I had to wet my whistle. If you notice on the left side of the screen, there's a floating arrow, and it looks white. And what that
Okay.
is that represents someone in my group. That shows me where they are, and currently they're on the other side of that wall.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's an instance where you're in an instance together and like you're at two different parts of the same quest or something. Like there are bits of the game where your partner or your group members will be invisible to you if you are on a different part of the quest than they are, or something like that. Which, as I said before, I don't like the phasing in the game. I've heard everyone refer to it as the phasing, so that's what I'm going to call it. I have no idea what it is myself, but ZeniMax has actually said they are going to improve on that. It wasn't improved upon in the build that I played last, the last build that I played, which was the second most recent, I believe. It was just one behind the people on the PTS server, I believe they called it. And most of this, you can see, Cyrodiil, if you've played Oblivion, Cyrodiil looks like Cyrodiil. It's a bit foggy because, it's a land of war, there's going to be smoke everywhere and all that stuff, but
Right.
you can see it's still green and hilly, and it's got the trees everywhere. And,
Yeah, I still need to get Oblivion.
Yeah, now, in terms of gameplay and game design, I prefer Skyrim, but there are a lot of things that Oblivion did better than Skyrim, in my opinion. Like, they had a lot more weapon variety. Like, if you were a melee character, there were short swords, broadswords, long swords. In Skyrim, you just have swords, and that's it. There's no broadsword, there's no bastard sword.
You had one-handed and two-handed.
Yeah, there you go, and that's all it was. In Oblivion, it was much more immersive in the fact that it had all that stuff.
Millie said it looks like WoW.
No. Just no. No.
I don't agree, but I don't disagree.
Most of the UI elements probably look like WoW, but the biggest difference between this and WoW is that there's not 50 freaking hotbar items down there covering up the bottom portion of your screen. There isn't a huge chat thing over on the left, and there isn't, this huge quest journal thing up in the top right-hand corner that's covering up most of your screen, and the camera isn't zoomed out into space. Like, you're not viewing them from satellite view. You can zoom out enough to actually have that view if you want it.
Typically,
Drax made a good comparison. She said it reminds her of D&D, which with the whole live fighting thing, instead of you just clicking and watching it fight, it's more like live every click swings. I can kind of get that.
Yeah, I would agree with that to an extent. I actually really wish. Yeah.
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to tell you guys that we've officially gone over 2 hours. That's cool.
Awesome. Have we gone up any viewers in that 2 hours?
We have 5.
Works for me. 5 viewers. Thanks for watching. I love you all.
Yeah.
Now,
so when do you think we should? When do you think we should end? I said, when do you think we should end at the 3-hour mark?
When it's done, like when we've talked about everything, when everybody's asked all their questions and stuff, I want to cover as much as I possibly can. So when I can't think of anything else to cover, we'll end it.
I think after the screenshots are done, we should just do a question time. And yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys notice up in the top left-hand corner, well, first let me point out that there are keeps in the game. If anybody has played Guild Wars 2, everyone compares the PvP to Guild Wars 2, except anyone who has played Guild Wars 2 says it's much, much better. Phoenix, your mind. Turn it off. There's too much background noise. Now, you can turn it back on whenever you have something to say, or you want to report a question or something, but just keep it off so the background noise. It sounds like you're in a room that echoes. The reverberation is just. Anyway, if you look, you see that little wood icon up on the compass. Now, the game's PvP, I'm told, plays out pretty much just like Guild Wars 2, except anyone who has played Guild Wars 2 says this completely stops Guild Wars 2's PvP. As a matter of fact, I have heard a lot of people say that the PvP alone is worth the $15 a month subscription, and I would agree. Normally, I'm not that big on PvP. Normally, I don't really care about stuff like this, but the way they handle PvP is frickin' awesome. And, like, what it is there's the Imperial City, right? And the Imperial City is surrounded by 6 keeps. And then, like, in the northeast, you have Ebonheart Pact territory, where they automatically own so many keeps. And then you have, in the northwest, you have the Daggerfall Covenant's territory, where they own a few keeps. And then you have, in the very south, Aldmeri Dominion own a few keeps. Now, when you first go into PvP, there will be 6 keeps around the Imperial City, and depending on how long people have been fighting there and stuff, they may not be controlled. They may be controlled. They might be controlled by your people. But if your faction controls all 6 of those keeps, you will get to crown an emperor, and that person. That Emperor will be one of the players, and that will be the top player in the PvP scoreboards. That person will be crowned Emperor, and they will gain Emperorship, which will get them bonuses. It'll make them, like, really hard to find stuff. It'll essentially turn them into a player boss, pretty much. And, the way you capture keeps is, it's kind of like, territories mixed with capture the flag. What it is, first, you have to capture, well, you don't have to capture it, but it will help you. You capture all the resource areas around the keep, like the farm, the wood mill, and, the mine. And those, they provide for the fort. So you capture those, you cut off the fort supplies, which makes, raiding it easier. And then you can actually place down and control siege weapons to take down fort walls or the gates. Or maybe even both. And then, like, all the players from your side can swarm into that keep, and then there's this big epic battle going on. There's people dumping oil from the tops of the walls to try and stop you. There's archers on the tops of the walls and everything. There's battles going on everywhere. And right there, I'm standing next to a ballista. And that, essentially, it's a ginormous crossbow. That's what a ballista is. It's pretty much effectively a ginormous crossbow.
Yeah. I know what a ballista is.
I didn't put it down, though. That I didn't put down. But as you can see, we own, like, all the resource over there. We had just captured it from the Aldmeri Dominion. They were dominating in that one. Unsurprisingly. Damn Thalmor Nazis. But, effectively, you get to put down all these different types of siege equipment. Like, there's trebuchets, catapults. You can even buy, like, different, what's the word? Ammunition for them, like flaming barrels and stuff like that for explosions and, starting fires and stuff. It's very, very medieval wartime-like, and I love that. It's just like participating in a big Lord of the Rings style battle. That's what it's like. That's what I would describe it as. There are tons of people. Like, on the server, like, everybody who could potentially be playing wasn't playing because it was a beta, but there were still enough people to make the battles really freaking awesome. And you can see here we're taking that thing. See, there weren't any people actually guarding this. When you're offline, when most of your players are offline, the game actually adds in NPCs that are level 50 to help defend for you while you're gone. Now, of course, they're easier to beat than the player character people, but as far as this goes, it's a lot. It's hard, but at the same time, as long as you got enough people working together, they actually killed us several times as NPCs. But you could see there how we had so many people fighting and everything. Right there, I actually typed in. Right there, I actually typed in. We won after capturing that, and I typed in the cheer emote, which makes you clap and raise your hands in the air. And there's the facepalm emote. There's a screenshot of the facepalm emote. Probably my favorite emote in the game. I love that. I love how he just slouches over, he slaps his face. You can hear the slap, it's audible, and you just hear your character go, ugh. It was so much fun to do. Now, that was actually after we tried to storm the keep and our group lost, because as you can see up there, we had all those people in on it, but like one kind of lost connection. The connection with PvP is really dodgy, but it's not that bad to where I was like, damn this. It is really good. And storming the keeps, if you die, if you don't have a forward camp set up as like a really close respawn point, you can't materialize there, and you have to spawn at like a place that's far away. And if you don't have a horse, that can get really annoying. I will go into one thing that I don't like about the game right here, and that's the loot. Now, specifically saying, you know how in like most MMOs and Skyrim, like you loot a corpse, you get an X amount of gold, usually in the few hundreds, and maybe an item that's not really good, but you can sell it off for more gold.
Right.
Well, in Elder Scrolls Online, they made stuff like the horses. The cheapest horse is almost 18,000 gold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is the cheapest horse. I'm like, what in the flying fuck? They were 1,000 gold in Skyrim.
Arvac, where are you when I need you?
Exactly. I'm like, where's my summonable horse, motherfuckers? Fuck that shit. Where's my flying
It's like,
mount that I can win by, doing the dungeon of epic raping?
Yeah, it's like, we have the horse. The horses here are really cheap, you buy them easily, but we're going to give you a free one, a free summonable one. Oh, here, we're going to make them really expensive and cost you an arm and a leg, but
no summonable
you're going to have to deal with it.
Sorry. But yeah, one thing I like about the Imperial Edition is it gives you like a horse that you buy for 1 gold, and it's actually one of the lowest stat wise. But having that horse from the bat, especially a white stallion, which looks awesome, is nice, and it helps you get around. But it's not overpowered. It's nothing that's going to be game breaking or anything. But it will help you get from A to B faster, rather than just, outright fast traveling. Which I might say that you can only do to way shrines. Like, in Skyrim, whenever you, discovered any location, you could fast travel to it, right? Well, that's not the case here.
Right.
There are way shrines in the game. And there's a way shrine in every major city and every minor city, and there's way shrines outside every major dungeon or major settlement, like not big cities but towns, and you fast travel between the way shrine network, and it costs you gold to fast travel too, so it's just easier to come on a horse.
Perfect World was that way. They gave you more, they gave you mounts and flying mechanisms and stuff, but they also had people you talk to called teleporters in every major little city and every kind of biggish little village or town that you would talk to teleport to certain places. And you could only teleport so far. Like if you were in the City of the Lost, any little village or something in that area, you could teleport to. But you couldn't teleport, say, to the city of I can't remember what it's called, but the one where the elves were, or nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay, now here, in this screenshot, I'm actually playing on the Aldmeri Dominion side. You can see that the group chat is orange, and I'm talking with Jimmy right there. That's actually me and Jimmy talking back and forth in the chat there in the group chat. And that's Lyris over there off just in the corner, and we're breaking out of Cold Harbor at this point. And you can see there, Baguthodix Avado. I don't know where the hell he got that name from. I don't even know if it's lore friendly or what. I don't care. But you can see, like, his Argonian character has, like, this massive tail that... I don't even understand that, because if you look at the position of the tail, like, it's coming out of his cheeks. And I don't know how that works if he's a humanoid, and I'm not going to think about it anymore because I just don't want that in my head.
Yeah, I just you, it's a role playing game. There's
Yeah,
imagination,
yeah. They
and
don't
there's this
use the
guy.
bathroom. They never use the bathroom. They magically like teleport the insides, like their waist to places. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta
But
have
you
some
can see, like,
imagination
the
with it.
Argonians, one of my favorite, like, things you could do for the Argonians is, like, since they don't have hair, if you want a mohawk, you can give them this big, obnoxious fin. And, like, that
That's
unicorn
awesome.
horn on their nose there. And, like, this is Cold Harbor. Like, you can see, like, dead corpses, and it's grayish blue, and oppressive, and dreary, and it's sad.
Okay. Drax says, "Hey Swoosh, did you know that sometimes humans are born with tails? It's freaky looking." I didn't know that. I know that's for sure.
I did. Human anatomy class. It's called Human Anatomy class, and I saw some fucked up pictures in that class. That's all I'm gonna say.
I won't lie. I actually slept a lot through that class. It was what, Kimbugwe. I slept
Oh
in her
yeah,
class.
Miss K. That class
Yeah,
was always
and
fun for me. But
I
yeah,
happily like slept through the whole pregnancy thing where they showed that horrible video. Apparently, I slept through it. I didn't even know they were showing it.
yeah.
So I don't come out with a dark story of like embarrassing disgustingness. I got through it.
Oh, you want to talk
Yes.
embarrassing? The most embarrassing thing is I had a girl in my class who was blonde, and we were, in the sex part of it, like sexual reproduction and stuff. We were studying that. We got to the female reproductive stuff, and the line that came from her that I will never forget is, "Vagina's a funny
Do
word."
you remember Megan Baldwin?
I think so, yeah.
Blonde chick. Yeah, she threatened to drown somebody's fish. Yeah, that happened.
Oh,
She actually threatened to drown somebody's fish.
that's terrible. That's terribly stupid and terrible at
Yeah.
the same time that she intended to drown a pet. It was a
I love that
fish.
people are like that in the world for my entertainment.
Yeah. Oh god. That's just stories like that make the world, if you ask me. Anyway, this is actually the Prophet's prison. He gets this big special pyramid diamond thing because he's Dumbledore. Moloch Ball was really, really thorough with his ass. He's like, "Fuck that! I ain't having Dumbledore fuck up my shit."
In response to the girl saying vagina is a funny word, Drax says, "LOL, that girl. Obviously, penis is a much more fun word."
Oh
You belong,
Christ!
Drax. One of us. You belong.
Yes, one of us into the fold. So this is Lyris, the Nord half giant, voiced by Jennifer Hale. You can see how she's like looking off into the distance while she's talking. She's like, "Oh hey, oh wait, I'm supposed to be telling you important story stuff. Sorry." So yeah, you can see she's actually moving and explaining stuff. There's the Prophet out of his cell. That's Moloch Ball. That giant monster thing climbing up out of that pit. That is Moloch Ball. That is the
Oh,
Daedric
wow.
Prince of brutality, domination, and rape. I love how he's staring at
Just out
me.
of curiosity, why isn't that an actual, like, thing?
I, I, I love how he's standing there. Like it's that one comical scene. You like if someone was told to caption this, it would be like the prophet's like, "Oh, Moloch Ball is a stupid asshole." Blah blah blah. Moloch Ball this, Moloch Ball that. He's behind me, isn't he?
He's behind me, isn't he?
And then, like you could see here, I took a script. Oh, I didn't know that it actually like showed like screenshots saved as blah blah Josh Smith blah blah documents and shit up there. I didn't know it actually captured that too. Damn it! I'm probably
Yeah,
gonna have like a bunch
I
of
like
these.
how I like how Moloch Ball's arms are up there in the back, like up. Like they look like he's just looking at, like, really, guy, really?
Yep. And here he spawns like this boss wasn't in the previous build that I played before the final build. Uh, Before that, it was like a Gorgon-looking thing called an Anchor Guardian, but here it's the Child of Bones, which is effectively just a reskin of Belroth, as you can see. But he was much easier to fight because since it's the tutorial level, Captain Overpowered over there was there to heal me every time I got hurt. And the one thing I hated about the finalized version, um, they changed like the part where you get your weapons. Like before, you had like all these weapon racks in this armory sort of place, and you could pick staffs or two-handed weapons or one-handed swords or whatever. And like in this version, they only had a sword on a table you could take, which pissed me the hell off. I was like, "Where's my staff?
Oh,
I am a
wow.
mage, motherfucker." So, yeah, I was really pissed at that
It's like, what
part.
am I gonna do with this thing?
And it's like, I don't
Can
know
this
how to
shoot
swing a
fire?
stick. I don't know how to swing a stick. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not used to this.
I'm sure, like, if they could channel magic through wooden wands and use it, they could do it through a sword. And, if it was
Yeah,
real.
like, and I do believe there are abilities that you can do with that. I just haven't unlocked any of them yet. But you can see Balroth ripoff here.
Yeah.
It was fun fighting him. That is... Oh, it didn't capture it right. That was me collecting the first Sky Shard of the game, which is given to you for free, because as part of the story, Dumbledore says that you need it to, like, reattune yourself with Nirn. And so he does the ritual, and there's the portal opening back up to Tamriel. And, screenshot. This is actually a really dark, for some reason, view of, like, the screenshot for Auridon, which is the island you get to explore upon exiting Cold Harbor into the Aldmeri Dominion without the starter islands. Second biggest island of the Somerset Isles. And here the description is, Auridon has always served the High Elves as a buffer between their serene archipelago and the turmoil of Tamriel. The Altmer of Auridon have been hardened by generations of repelling invaders, pirates, and plagues.
Nice.
There...
Oh, and I do apologize, Drax. Truly, I am not nerdy enough for you, apparently. She said they can only channel magic through a sword if it had a magical core in it, silly. Phoenix feather, dragon heart, string, and unicorn hair are the norm. But I've heard of Vela hair being used before.
So,
Drax
yeah.
is just like running me
Here's
down.
my Khajiit mage, Dojoan. He was going to be Dojon, or Dojan, but someone took that. So I had to, like, fight with it just a little bit. I actually have a video of me creating this specific character up on YouTube, so if you guys want to see what the character creation is like, please go check that out. It's up on my channel on YouTube. It's also up on Twitch. And all I'm going to say is this game has a fucking butt slider. It has a butt slider. That's all you need to know.
Woody, rocking everywhere.
Exactly.
Someone needs to make that video with that song in it. And then just sliding it back and forth.
Yeah, like I actually did that. I sat there and slid it back and forth, and I just couldn't help but giggle because, like, it either was like so flat that it was like the grandpa ass that they've sat on it so much over the years it's gone, or it's like Arnold's buns and thighs, y'all. And
I suddenly thought of Angry Joe. Ass and titties. Ass and titties.
Angry Joe, I like his show, but there are some things I don't like. I'm not going to get into that here because, I respect him as a YouTuber. I want to be like him someday, so, I
Oh,
really
I
shouldn't.
love Angry Joe.
I shouldn't sit here and talk shit about him, but I do love him. Great guy. I actually defended him once
Oh
from
God,
a
I love Angry
troll who was,
Joe.
like, racist against him and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, this is Oridon. You can see that the Aldmeri Dominions, their place is much more beautiful. Um, it looks a little bit like Cyrodiil. This was the docks. I was going to Kynarthy's Roost, which is actually their starter island, because since they removed the starter island so you don't have to do them, they actually made it to where you level up a little bit faster, and actually going to this place made me level up a lot faster, and it was essentially free experience. So that's why I went there. And this is my favorite NPC and everybody's favorite NPC in the game, Razum Dar. Russian accented cat man with a sarcastic sense of humor. Just think about that for a moment. There's another reason to play the game right there. His armor also looks
Huh.
badass. I think that is the veteran gear for the Nightblade class. Not entirely sure. Might be wrong. Might be just specifically created for him, but I think that's what theirs is. And I just took a little bit of me, having dialogue with him. This is me talking with Raz and Eelsil. That name. I think he's actually voiced by like someone like I don't know, the person who does Obi-Wan in the Star Wars, the Clone Wars TV show. What was his name?
The TV show? I don't know.
Yeah, James Arnold Taylor, who also does Ratchet in the Ratchet and Clank games, by the way, guys. He sounded a
Oh,
lot like him.
tidbit of information.
Yeah, so Obi-Wan in that show is actually voiced by Ratchet. Go figure. Let's see. Here I was actually still, with Jimmy running around. He's probably in one of these screenshots somewhere, actually. You can see the white horse there. You can get it almost immediately. 1 gold. If you have 1 gold, go to the stables of the town. See, I didn't remember that. Like for this build of the demo, or the beta, they actually unlocked all the pre-order bonuses and stuff, so you can try them out. And honestly, I had no problem with any of them. They were actually really nice, and they really didn't make too much of a difference on the gameplay, except the horse, which just made you like run faster. That's really it, just for getting around faster. And I'm still not a big fan of what they did with the whole thing, where they locked the Imperial class to people who only get the limited edition. Now, the biggest problem is they actually ran out of limited editions because it's a limited edition. And the thing that pisses me off is that all those people who love the Imperial, if everybody buys all those up, they're not going to get that, which pisses me off. Based on a moral standpoint, it's wrong. I can understand why they did it as a business standpoint. ZeniMax Media, who owns ZeniMax Online Studios, who are making the game, they were obviously like, we want to make money. Collector's Edition. Lock something into it. It's an MMO. We can do this. Yeah.
Ha!
Yeah, so, apparently, Kynarthy's Roost, which is the name of the starter island for the AD, you can see how, like, the chat text is different, too. Like, you can see the zone chat, instead of being, like, this yellow gold, is this beigey color. And you can see Camp and Jimmy is logged off. But, he logged off, and
Okay,
I ran
I
around a
see
little
it.
bit more. This place was a lot of fun to do. And, it had, like, all these beautiful vistas that I actually have, like, stuff for. I love the Khajiit staves, too, because, a lot of the times in folklore and fiction and stuff, or the moon is tied into, magical energy. And the Khajiit actually, they're shamans and stuff. They draw that magical energy from the moon, and they're really tied with the moon. So Khajiit
Yeah.
staves
Millie asked what was the little blue creature in the corner in one of your screenshots.
the little blue
You've
creature
gone
is,
over it now.
yeah. Let me see if I can't go back and find it right here. Like that one. Is it the one I'm on like right now?
I can't see it yet. Delay, remember?
Yeah.
You need to find a way to share screens with me so I can see them at the same time as you.
We'll wait for Millie to see. Like, is she talking about this screenshot?
We just got to me asking it in the stream. That screenshot, yeah.
Okay, that is a clan fear. It's actually a Daedric creature, and it's essentially like a little sort of duck-billed dinosaur with teeth and everything. So, yeah, it's a little duck-billed dinosaur Daedra. It's called a clan fear.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's a summons too, by the way. That's a summons.
Nice. So there is kind of a dragon-ish kind of thing, but it's more dinosaur though.
Yeah. You can, they get bigger. Like, there are some that you fight that are a lot bigger than that, for example. Right there, I'm actually casting. It looks like I'm doing sort of a dance or kung fu or something in that screenshot. I actually love how that worked out. It was like I'm doing a dance with this woman out in the middle of nowhere, like, or I'm doing magic kung fu, like, whoa! Kitty Chan, or Bruce Kitty, or Kitty Lee.
Bruce Kitty.
There's a pun in there somewhere that works. There I've just defeated a skeleton, and you can see I can like search him before he even falls over and everything, but I don't have quick enough reflexes with the keyboard. I can't stand.
You know what that screenshot makes me think of you doing the kung fu looking thing? It kind of makes me think of ancient crane technique. If do right, no defense, aye? Yeah.
Not only that, it
Oh,
also reminds me of Jackie Chan adventures, like Angry Crow takes flight.
We call you Kitty-san.
But yeah, let's see. Next screenshot. There, I'm using my lightning staff to attack something. Someone has their scamp. You can see a summoned scamp right there attacking it. Someone off in the distance who looks like he's in a trench coat almost. That guy almost looks like he could be Inspector Gadget. You probably can't see it as well as I can, but hilariously enough, it almost looks like that guy in the background could be Inspector Gadget almost. And then all of a sudden, I love that, like, that guy actually disintegrated when I killed him, and he turned into a bunch of the little missing texture boxes. It was at that point I was like, I am God! Fear my texture box transmogrification! And look at there, I'm doing another kung fu thing. I love that. I love the kung fu stance that the mage does, like, through the crystal shard creation and using. It's so awesome looking. And right here, we're actually in the middle of a quest where we turn off seals inside tombs, like magical seals. Those were awesome to defeat. Here, this is actually a Khajiit temple. Like the Khajiit. And Khenarthi's Roost is actually like just south of Elsewhere, so it's actually Elsewhere territory. So most of the buildings here you see are actually Khajiit structures. And I'm playing as Khajiit, so fitting.
What if when we're doing your kung fu thing, what if the Khajiit was doing like the thing from your old crypto video? Nah.
The foolish slug gargles with salt water.
Drax said Wookie?
Yeah.
That was a horrible Wookie.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
Right now is getting a little dry again, so I'm not even going to attempt it because I will fuck up my voice.
Yeah, I can't do it no more. I used to
Gargle
be able to
some
do it really
water.
good. I thought.
Gargle some water, you'll do it. So you can see skeletons climbing out of a bone pile there. We've got to fight and everything, and she's trying to, like my NPC companion is trying to cleanse the runes off of it. You can see the evil necromantic thingy there. You can see down there that I've added someone to my ignore list. I had perfectly good reasons. I can't remember why, but every time I had someone added to my ignore list, there was one who was literally a hooker, like saying really fucking gross stuff in the chat. Like, oh my
Oh God.
I'm not even gonna repeat any of it because I want to keep this, like, you know, the most I want to do is cuss in this. I don't want to go into detail about
I was
all
fixing to say, if you say you're going to try to keep this kid friendly, you've already failed.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep it kid-friendly, but I'm going to keep it, like, it's not going into X-rated
Not
territory.
X-rated. Yeah.
And right there, I'm summoning the Crystal Shard again because I don't have anything else.
Huh.
I hit something, apparently, or it's about to hit something, and she's cleansing it. Some of these actually look really badass. Here's a dungeon that I actually went into early on in the game, Starter Island Dungeon. I had to confront the one named Oldor, obviously. You can see the spike traps down there, and actually, I think those were either gargoyles or giant bats. And they were really hard for me. I think they were like level 4, and I was level 2. And 2 of them ganged up on me at once, and I got my ass handed to me.
Oh,
Giant
wow.
bat! There we go.
Okay, so... Question. Oh, it's... never mind. Millie said, so what would a female Wookiee sound like? I don't know. Put on a mic and try it out. Why don't you and Drex try to have like a contest, see who can do the best female Wookiee?
They sound exactly like the male Wookiees.
Damn it! I was going to try to get them to get on a mic and do the Wookiee. Thank you, but you ruined it.
Yeah. You know what, Johnny
Now
Bravo?
I'm the
Get him
only
to do the
idiot in
monkey
here
with
that
you.
did the freaking No, it's not that. It's that I'm the only idiot in here that did the Wookiee thing now.
Oh, please. I've done worse on camera. Like my scream that I pretty much... Like, that one stock scream from my SCP playthrough that I pretty much coined. Next Wilhelm scream, everybody! Anyway, Jaden Lightstrom. I like people who, you know, actually take the game seriously. It makes it much more... I don't like how she was standing in the way of my giant crystal shard that's going to, like, go through her head to hit this thing, but, you know... People always walk in front of screenshots and stuff. But yeah, this place was awesome. I actually really like the Aldmeri Dominion, but you know, Dalaran wants us to go with the Ebonheart Pact because of the big heavy Nord barbarians and, you know, the Argonians and stuff. They've got like the most popular races all in that one. And more screenshots. And there is a day and night cycle in this game for people who are interested. There's also a weather system. It has rained before. I probably have a screenshot or two of it raining.
Nice.
So there's a weather system, all that stuff. That right there is the Mage's Wrath. I'm calling down the lightning. You can see the light from the lightning as it's coming down, about to hit that thunderbug. The worst problem is it's a thunderbug and I'm hitting it with lightning, and that's pretty much my only option other than Crystal Shard. So I wasn't doing much damage to that damn thing, which was annoying. Jinsosos. Apparently there was someone off in the distance there named Jinsosos.
Off in the distance, there was Jisosus.
Yeah, and you can see, like, I've been taking a lot of, like... There were a lot of really good screenshot moments in this game because it's just so fucking good looking. And there's actually a screenshot of the pause screen. I don't know why I took a screenshot of the pause screen, but there it is.
Why is there a pause screen on online games?
It's
One
so you
does
can
not simply
it's
pause
so
online games.
It's pretty much just for the menus. It's not actually pausing, it's the main menu, pretty much. You're just bringing up the main menu to do stuff.
Yeah.
And here I'm inside a ship. That's a hurricane off in the distance that's being spawned by sea vipers, who are actually sea elves. There are actually sea elves in Tamriel, in the Somerset Isles region, and they actually specialize in storm and weather magic, and they have sort of a bluish skin, but they're actually descended from the Altmer, the High Elves. I thought that was really cool.
Millie
Another
says
thing
it still looks like WoW areas.
here, see, it just started raining, but that's only because I'm getting closer to the hurricane zone. I think that was just after I died, and like one thing that changed in between builds is on the newest build that I played. You didn't have to have a soul gem on you if you were below level 6. If you were below level 6, you could respawn right there, right then, without needing a soul gem, which was nice. It was really helpful, especially when I made stupid
Right.
mistakes. And you can see there are a lot of really good-looking vistas. There was a little bit of fog here. I don't know if that was actually because of like the game being like bad or anything, but still. That was a ghost I ran into. I didn't start the quest because I honestly didn't really want to at the time. But I ran into her, like, she appeared randomly. Like, that was a random instance. And you don't see that in MMOs. You don't see someone, like, come off the side of the screen like in Skyrim and run up to you and, I have a message for you. You don't see shit like that. In this game, that is there. This is an MMO with, like, quest NPCs that will run up to you.
Yeah.
And it will be randomized. And you don't see stuff like that in most MMOs. And that's another thing that I like about it.
Yeah. I hate those like, oh, this person is urgently looking to give a message to you. And then whenever you find that person, they're standing in front of a building somewhere, not doing anything. They're just kind of chilling. They're like, yeah, it doesn't seem too urgent.
And it's like, oh, you're finally here. Open this jar of mayonnaise.
It's like, oh, you're finally here. Oh, I'm sorry. It was so urgent you had to wait. So what if I never showed up?
Yeah, so, you can see, like, Auradon is amazingly gorgeous. I don't know if this is, no, wait, I think it's, still, Canarthy's Roost, but it's really gorgeous. This is an island directly south of, elsewhere. It's very small. But, and it's, like, just right off the coast, but it's still gorgeous. There's a Khajiit fisherman. Let's see. And I tried to get as many good shots of vistas as I could, because even on medium settings and stuff, this game looked beautiful. That's actually the city of Mistral behind him there, or the town of Mistral. There's Razumdar. I swear to God, I love this guy. He is hilarious.
I'm sorry. I love that name, Razumdar.
Yeah, like everybody, this is everybody's favorite NPC. This is everybody's
Kind of
favorite
like
NPC.
Mike the Liar.
Mike the Liar is actually in the game. I'm actually glad you brought that up.
Yes.
It is possible.
Yes.
It is possible to run into Mike the Liar anywhere in Tamriel. As a matter of fact, he's rare though, but it's still possible to run into him because people have actually confirmed it, posted screenshots and everything. He's there.
Nice.
And if you want to know, like, in Skyrim, you know how you could walk up to a chair and just, like, sit in it?
Drax says Razumdar is your man crush.
Yep, my man crush.
More like kitty crush. Well, you're both Khajiit, so I guess it kind of works.
Yeah.
No, you're an Argonian. Never mind. Take it back.
Actually, no, I am a Khajiit right here.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Again, I say, yeah.
Yeah, like, look, that's me right there in the chair, dude. That's my character. He's a Khajiit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like, you can see people in the chat, like, they're, like, one of the, like, the local chat, things down there. Your legs are dirty. people were saying shit like that all the time. Such comedy, many troll, much funny. I actually really like the Doge meme. Don't judge me.
You've been judged.
But yeah,
I'm not one to judge. It's okay, Josh.
yeah. In this
I love you
game,
either way.
you can't like go up to a chair and like sit in it. Like there are places where you can sit down and stuff like that, but they're rare and usually they're for like quests or stuff. But this, you can sit anywhere in a chair just by typing /sit chair.
Huh.
There's an emote for it. You can't like walk up to something and sit down in it. But I mean, you can still sit in a chair. You just got to do it through emote. And people who like to role play in the single player Elder Scrolls games were complaining because they didn't feel like this is realistic. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that going all that time without eating is unrealistic? Well, there are mods for that. Well, yeah, there probably won't be mods like that for this. Because, modding
Yeah.
MMOs, you're modding an MMO, not exactly, I could be wrong.
This isn't Minecraft.
I know some people, I have heard people say that you can mod MMOs.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's legal, though. That's my biggest issue.
I don't think mods are actually legal either way. I think they just kind of.
Well, actually,
I don't know. It's like ROMs.
mods
They
for
just kinda don't
single-player
focus
games
on it.
are illegal because, since there's no, like, multiplayer in a single-player game like Skyrim, you can't use it to exploit anything in the multiplayer. Whereas here, you could use a mod to do that. And that's one reason why,
Right.
you can't use mods in something like a multiplayer game, like an MMO. But in Skyrim, it's perfectly fine. They actually support people who mod with something like the Creation Kit. But yeah, a lot of people who like to roleplay, like they've got so many issues. Like that one guy, you remember I said talked about going into God, what did I say? There was one guy who was complaining about something. What was it? There was one guy saying that, there was one point, something I will slightly agree on, like, in the main quest, like, there are only, like, 2 dialogue options. Goodbye, to, like, get out of the menu, and, like, the option that, Bethesda wants you to say. There is no, like, if your character's evil, you can choose to do something evil. There's just, like, if your character wouldn't be concerned for Lyris, since you gotta leave her behind, when you escape Cold Harbor, for example, like in the main story, the only dialogue option is, "Can't we take her with us?" And if you've got an evil character who wouldn't say that, that's all you can say if you want to continue the quest. So I will agree, like in the main quest, the dialogue options are like limited as far as roleplay goes, but it's still like not that bad. I really, like, I didn't have a hard time role-playing with Jimmy, and I mean, he can't role-play that well. I had fun role-playing with people, and I had a role-play guild.
I can't either.
It's not that hard to role-play in this game. Like, if you're one of those really hard-card, obsessive, OCD, nitpicky people, you're not gonna like the game. You're just not. You're gonna go into it expecting, since it has the Elder Scrolls name on it, that it's going to be tailored specifically for you because you like Elder Scrolls. No, it's an Elder Scrolls MMO. They've got to please
I'm still gonna
both
play it like an
sides.
MMO, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna play it like a video game. I'm not gonna get to a whole role playing thing.
Yeah, I actually played this a lot like I did Skyrim. And that's as a role-playing game. As my Argonian and Khajiit characters, I even read off lines like in the Khajiit and Argonian voice, which actually, it wears on the throat because you've got to do that whole raspy sort of Arabic thing with the Khajiit and the raspy lizard sort of gill-sounding thing with the Argonians.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do, and I even went as far to read the lines my character would say as my character as a Khajiit or an Argonian, and that's hard.
Oh,
For people,
Drax. Good night.
good night, Drax. Sorry you didn't get to make it all
Drax
the way
said she needs to go to bed because she needs to go to school tomorrow.
through. Yeah. Well, when you
Bummer.
get home from school, you can catch the rest of it. Whoa! Phoenix! Oh my god! If you're gonna turn your mic on, turn everything off first. Jesus.
He said Damien and everyone was there.
Damien?